ClassicGameRoom.com.
Blue ducks and spinning things, it's KURURIN Paradise, the game that slurs its title so you don't have to. Okay, here's the story as I understand it. Stephen, the blue duck, must race to the Japanese circus just in time to meet Peter, P-E-T-R, the telepathic panda bear. The only problem is that Stephen was too slow. Peter spontaneously panda bear combusted, leaving clumps of black and white fur everywhere, as well as a mind-altering telepathic haze. Stephen races to the nearest trash can and slides down the Voltron chute hidden inside to enter his robotic whirlybird that he'll use to fly through his hallucinogenic haze in order to turn back time and bring Peter back to life again because he owes him 50 yen. That's the official story of KURURIN Paradise. Excuse me, I'd like to play KURURIN Paradise, the game that sounds like you're slurring, no matter how you say it. KURURIN Paradise, a Japanese release for the Game Boy Advance, and a terrific game, although initially I thought it was called KURURIN Paradise, because this was sent to the show by our friend Andrew from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, whose handwriting is about as bad as mine is. KURURIN looked like Curvin. Way to go. It took me like 5 seconds to figure out what this game was called online. And just about as much time to figure out that I really enjoy it. So you're playing this little weird blue duck thing who's piloting a spinning straw through an acid trip. Sounds like a recipe for success, and it is, with relatively simple controls and clever gameplay. KURURIN Paradise is a Game Boy Advance release that you may want to import no matter where you are. There's no region encoding, and it's awesome. You'll want it. That took me like 80 tries to get through that, by the way. This game is a lot harder than it looks. And some Japanese kid has all the high scores. How did you guys get through this level quickly? I could barely get through it at all. Yay, I'm a blue duck! What is going on in this game? I don't care. It's so good. You killed the blue duck! So here's the real deal. The straw, which is actually a helicopter, or it's supposed to be a helicopter, spins automatically, and you're supposed to move it through these levels without smashing it into things. You can speed up the rotation with the top right button on your Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Player for the, GameCube. I got too much crap now, I get them all confused. Holding the A or B button makes it speed along. You can hold both those buttons to make it go really fast, which definitely ensures you're going to crash into something. And sometimes if you hit springs or whatever, you can reverse the rotation, and you just gotta make it through levels. It's hard as nails, catchy, and tons of fun. Here's a look at me playing it on the Game Boy Advance SP, where it plays very well with the D-pad and you rotate it with the top two buttons. It looks good, and this is the kind of game you can play anywhere, except be careful, because if you're standing on concrete, you could easily smash it on the ground when you get frustrated. Or throw it at the person next to you on the bus. Don't do that either, because they'll be like, "What'd you throw at me?" And you'll say, "KURURIN Paradise," and they'll just assume you're drunk. And then you'll have to buy him a drink and make small talk, and that'll take time away from playing KURURIN Paradise. You see, these are the kinds of things you need to think about before you enter game rage. If you lose, just give it the finger and try again, unless the person next to you on the bus is really hot, in which case throw it at them. I don't know what kind of helicopter this thing is flying, or why a blue duck would even need a helicopter when ducks can fly on their own. Wow, that's a huge plot loophole. This thing needs Airwolf. In addition to the storyline mode, which saves your best times, Andrews are saved under Rambo. There's also a whole bunch of fun and clever challenges and mini-games. I particularly like this one, which is like Warlords on the Atari 2600, but more colorful. As far as I know, this does not have a Western release, which is a shame because I think a lot of people in the West would enjoy this. It's not terribly expensive to import, and I actually have two people to thank for this, Andrew from Philadelphia and Keenan from Burlington, Iowa. So, thanks Andrew, thanks Keenan, it's the game I can't pronounce that you should play.